What's up, everybody? Welcome in to episode 6 of Between the Chalk podcast, part of the Primetime Sports Betting Network. I am Trent Pruitt, aka Trent Betts, and I am joined by my co-host, the man, the myth, the legend, Noah Weinberg. Noah, what's good, brother?
What is up, Trent, Mr. Trent Bet? How are you doing today?
I'm doing fine, brother. I'm doing fine. I'm actually doing more than fine. I'm excited. Baseball's in full swing.
Full swing.
And we're just loving life.
Absolutely.
But hey, we got a stacked show today.
Tell us about it.
Yeah, we're going to recap the last week.
Okay.
We're going to introduce a new segment called Mount Manfred.
Mount Manfred, I love it.
Yes, it'll be a little bit of like a draft kind of thing, based off like a Mount Rushmore type deal. We'll preview the upcoming week. We'll get into our best bets. But first, let's start with probably like one of the bigger stories on the day.
Do it.
Miguel Cabrera chasing 3,000 hits.
Miggy.
He didn't get there today on Thursday, but he went 3 for 4 on Wednesday night against the Yankees, moved him to 2,999 career knocks.
3 for 4?
Yeah, 3 for 4 on Wednesday.
The guy doesn't age. I think the theme of our podcast this year has been old guys rule.
That seems to be true. These guys are just talk about longevity. Some of these guys like Wainwright, Miggy, some of these guys is Verlander, Kershaw, just keep it rolling.
Yeah, exactly. Absolutely. All these guys.
But Miggy, 0 for 3 on Thursday with 2 punch outs and then came up in the bottom of the 8th with an RBI opportunity. But the Yankees had first base open, so they walked him. The crowd went nuts, dude. They're booing him. Everyone's like,
That's a Yankees move.
Yeah, it is just a scumbag move by Aaron Boone.
Yankees by the Yankees.
Classic Yankees. And then just a fun fact, I was listening to the broadcast. They said his first hit, his 1,000th hit and 2,000th were all home runs. So maybe he's just holding out for a big fly.
That's what Aaron Boone didn't want.
Yeah, he doesn't want to be on the highlight reel probably.
I see. I get it. Understood.
But anyways, let's keep it rolling here. I guess we'll just start with that series. Yankees take 2 out of 3. Nothing too exciting really happened there, I feel like.
No, I mean, I checked in here and there in the series, and it just seemed like they were taking it back and forth from each other. And it wasn't anything special one way or another. None of the games went great. It just was mediocre baseball.
Just mediocre baseball. All right, yeah, let's keep it moving here. White Sox Guardians, let's just go ahead and skip that one and move on.
Whoa. That is the one that I want to lead with. I know you probably didn't want to lead with it.
I did not.
But here, let me ask you. Since I am the resident Guardian fan, even though I have nothing to do with the team, I just am. You have to be on board with the name change. It's kind of like the football team. You just had to be on board.
Okay.
So I'm going to ask you, as a White Sox fan, who are you happier to not see in the next couple series? Jose Ramirez or Shane Bieber? Because Ramirez hit a grand slam in that 11-1 spanking. And to make matters worse, Bieber only allowed 1 run in that game, striking out 7. And, you guys faced them May 9th through 11th. I'm thinking the Guardians might take 2 out of 3. And we talked about it. I made a joke and you were like, yeah, right. But you can clip it. I was like, don't be surprised when the Guardians finish this week in first place in the Central. And oh my gosh, I looked at the standings right before we talked. And it looks clean. The Cleveland Guardians above the White Sox.
I know it's tough couple of days to be a White Sox fan. To answer your first question there, I guess I'd have to say I am more excited not to see Joe Ram just because he plays every day as opposed to Bieber. You only get him once every 5, but Bieber is scary. Like the first 2 games got rained out of the series. So I was like, can they just wash out all 4 so we don't have to face Bieber? But that unfortunately didn't happen.
Dreams can't always come true.
Right. But that's
here. I'll do you the favor and I'll do you the solid. We can move on.
Yeah. Okay. Well, I did.
Well, hold on. We can talk about Robert for a second. got hurt?
Yeah, I think he left the game early in this third game today.
Are you concerned?
I don't believe so. I don't think it was too serious. Seemed like he just maybe pulled up running down first base line later in the game. So I don't know.
Injury
Hopefully,
prone?
maybe.
Are your MVP odds gone?
No, he'll be all right. He'll bounce back. He'll be fine. He broke one. He was like he was like on a 20 hitless streak. Broke that today with the smoked a double off the wall. So
Okay,
he'll be all right. He'll be fine. But yeah, let's move on. I don't want to see Cleveland for a little while. All right, Brewers, they sweep the Pirates, winners of 4 straight games for Milwaukee. I believe they're back on top in the the NL Central. The pitching staff is just phenomenal. Eric Lauer had a nice outing, 1 earned run over 6 innings. Corbin Burns, great again, 7 innings pitched, 4 hits allowed.
Yep.
2 earned runs and a 5-2 win. And then Woodruff, 6 innings pitched, 1 hit, no earned runs and a 4-2 win in Game 3.
So yeah, it looks like the Brewers just needed to sprinkle off or wash off the rust. I know everybody had shortened spring training, and I guess it affected them a little bit more to start the season because they are pitching well, and I think you're just going to continue to see that happen. That couple the Brewers starting pitchers, with the fact that they have a late inning guy in Josh Hader who you can guarantee for 3 easy outs each and every time he steps up.
Yep.
It's the Brewers, that NL Central, that those top 2 teams are kind of sneaky. That's going to be a fun division to pay attention to. Just all around baseball. Minus the bottom of the barrel, as you see with the Pirates and the Reds, but
yeah,
I think the top 2, man, you can sprinkle in some Cubs as well. Chalk those 3 teams up to having some fun this year.
Chalk it up. Yeah, that'll be a fun division to follow with. Just 3 quality starts though from that Brewers pitching staff. It's insane.
Yeah, credit to the Pirates for helping rejuvenate the Brewers at least, right?
Yeah, that's an optimistic way to think about it. Let's head out to La La Land.
Yes.
Freddie 2 tanks, 2 homers on the season, both of them against his old team. He was 4 for 11 in the series against the Braves.
Yeah, I was actually there at the game on Wednesday. It was a day game, love day games. Great baseball all the time. It is so special what the Dodgers have in Freddie Freeman and what the Braves let go of in Freddie Freeman. It doesn't matter where you play him on the field. You shift him over and you play him to only pull the ball, he'll poke one opposite field. You play him straight up, he'll put one in the gaps. It does not matter. That guy can shred a baseball field, tear it apart. He is an absolute maniac out there. It's ridiculous. Doesn't matter what you do. And then if you combine Freddie Freeman with Mookie Betts, who isn't playing at his best, right? And then you put Bellinger there, who hasn't been playing well, but is starting to play well. And he was their weakest link for quite some time, right? It's dangerous. The only blemish in their whole entire lineup is Edwin Rios, who last year was my guy to watch out for, pick of the year. I know he doesn't put up like the most average. He doesn't get on base every single time, but when he hits the ball, that ball flies off the bat. He hit a home run Wednesday. Just let him get hot. Roberts is going to give him a number of at-bats. They're going to have some bench guys they only have 1 or 2 or maybe 3 guys who they can plug in on their bench because they don't have a deep bench. They don't need a deep bench. They have players who can play every position. It's the Dodgers are dangerous. What happened? You have Gonsolin, a back of the rotation guy, go 6 innings, no earned.
That's huge.
one hit. And might I add, I haven't even stopped talking about Wednesday's game.
Yeah, I mean this it's just a stacked team. It's like I don't know, it's not really fair to go against them.
No, it's kind of like I'm a Dodgers fan, so what I'm saying, it's basically like cheating. The Dodgers are a cheat code. Back when you had PS2s and you put L1, R2, up, down, square, triangle, that whole shebang.
Yep.
It's the same thing. This is when you manipulate the roster and you just put everybody you want on one team. And this is it. This is the whole thing. You figured it out, Dodgers. If you don't win this year, blow it all up. I mean, there's a number of people on the team who are in their contract year. So, I mean, this is the Dodgers' year to do it.
Yeah.
So we'll see.
Yeah, it'll be man, good for you for having it for being a fan of a team that has ownership that cares, and we'll open the checkbook.
Well, yeah, we'll call it. It was nice. It's a nice change from McCourt, who all he cared about was his divorce with his wife, and so much so that the split with the Dodgers was so bad that he still owns the parking lot and charges like $60 to park.
That's insane.
Absolutely ridiculous. He's a menace.
Hey, you know what? Last thing here on the Dodgers. I have heard that the Dodger dog isn't very good. The hot dogs at Dodger Stadium. Is that factual?
Okay. So I will say, yes, it is factual, but I will say there's an asterisk. It was good.
It was good.
These are not the same Dodger dogs. They
Okay.
are a different company. They do not taste the same. They taste like, I've never had dog food. But
if you did,
what I assume dog food tastes like.
Hey, they probably stopped spending money on hot dogs and just invested in the team. So you got to be all right with that.
I'm okay with that. And the stadium looks nice. They renovated it quite a bit for the All-Star game, which was supposed to be 2 years ago, but now is this year. Hopefully it doesn't get postponed. But
yeah,
I think I'm going to the Celebrity All-Star game. Maybe no. I'm going to the Futures game.
Futures game. Okay.
Yeah.
I was gonna say the Celebrities game. You could go watch Will Smith smack some homers.
Ooh, that's too soon.
Too soon. Last note about that series, I guess. Max Fried had a good outing. 7 innings pitched, no earned runs, 2 hits. They won game 2. But
Valley kid. He's a Southern California native. Of course,
oh yeah, that's right. He's a Harvard Westlake guy, right?
Absolutely.
Good for him. All right, let's keep it rolling here. The Reds. People are wondering if they'll ever win again. They've lost 9 straight games. They are going to be the worst team in the league this year.
Hold on. Let me take a quick survey. No, they will not win again.
Yeah, they're not going to win again. The Padres sweep them, and I think it was 3 games sweep, and that's 4 straight wins for the Friars.
Yeah, I mean, if the Padres can sweep a team, then it's bad news.
They're only 1 game back to you guys in the standings, it looks like.
Yeah, I mean, but then you also have we can talk about it now, but that NL West is so stacked. The 4th place team is 8-5, 3 games over 500 to start the season.
Looks like the fifth place team is 5-8. They're hanging
right.
out.
I mean, the 5th place team is. The 5th place team is the Diamondbacks. It's not going to be a great season for the Diamondbacks. So they're going to win some games here and there, but you'll see that number slowly just increase.
Yeah, right.
Maybe it will be 5-8, and then it will be 7-12, and then it will be 9-20, and then it's just.
Yeah, it's gonna really snowball into a tense.
But the top of that division is looking real nice. It's looking real competitive, and I'm excited.
Mm-hmm.
Real excited.
Yeah, let's keep it rolling here. How about the toilet bowl? I got to ask you, have you started looking into different hair colored dyes yet, or no?
So, yes, I'm totally not scared about the A's winning 69 games. I say sarcastically. With you might be able to like hear the fear in my voice. 69 games seems really low. Is there any chance that we can amend that?
Absolutely not. So the A's are 8-6. They won 3 out of 4 against the Orioles at the Coliseum this weekend. For those that don't recall or are new listeners, Noah has a bet where if the A's win 69 games, he has to dye his hair green. So they're 8-6 at this point, and we're well on our way.
Yeah, so I don't like it. The A's are a scrappy team, and I kind of forgot that the A's are also going to get to play the Rangers 19 times this season.
Oh, yeah.
Um,
There'll be a few wins in there.
Yeah. And then the Mariners also aren't playing super hot as well. They're winning, but they're not playing great baseball. So it's like 69 games is one of those numbers that you think and you look at and you're like, wow, did I really make a mistake with that bet?
Yeah, it's really I'd be kind of nervous if I were you.
I'm nervous, but you know what? Maybe it was just the Orioles, right? Maybe it's just the beginning of the year. Maybe we just need everybody else to get hot, and the A's just started hot because minor leaguers were able to get to spring training a little earlier.
That could be it. Yeah, I don't have too much to say there about that series. Besides, we can't wait for you to have green hair.
Oh, okay, fine. We'll see. We'll see.
All right, let's head down to Florida.
Yes, my series of the week.
Go ahead.
Well, I mean, we saw Seattle take 2 out of 3.
St. Louis.
Seattle. You're right. St. Louis took 2 out of 3. They won 5-1, and they won 2-0. And the Marlins won a game 5-0 on the last game of the series. And that game, I'll tell you, was absolutely nutty. First of all, Nolan Arenado is having the season of his career.
It's insane.
It is when you have MLB Network already on the hype train, making segments, whether or not Nolan Arenado is the MVP this year, and we're 2-3 weeks in to the season. Okay, slow down. 1, 2. Holy crap! Nolan Arenado's having that type of season. And if we're just talking about the Cardinals and the Nolans that they have, Nolan Gorman hit 6 homers in his first 6 games in AAA.
Wow!
As a second baseman. That team is going to be so stacked. I mean, we talked about the NL Central, but the Brewers and the Cardinals at their top right there, geez. And then if we're talking about that third game really quickly, so I just want to set the scene. Jazz, one of my favorite guys, he's taking a little bit of time to get into the box, okay? A pitch has come. He stepped out, taking some practice swings, and the umpire is yelling at him to get back in the box, And the catcher is there trying to tell the pitcher to hurry up. And then it just makes things uncomfortable. Jazz gets back in the box. The catcher ends up calling time. Jazz steps out, is like shaking his head, kind of giving the umpire shit. Like, what are you talking about? Why are you making me get in the box? Take a chill pill, man. That same pitch that's coming, he steps back in. He ends up stepping back into the box. They throw in the pitch. Jazz yeets a home run. Just hits a bomb so far over the fence, and he just pimps it so bad. Just walks it off like he's absolute Christ himself. It is the most badass thing I've seen him do, and it's like I'm here. I'm Jazz. I'm ready. Let's go.
Yeah, it was sick. I saw the highlight online. That was pretty dope of him. He's got so much swagger.
It is insane.
And yeah, Nolan Arenado, like you were saying, guys on fire. 5 homers, 14 RBIs, 405 batting average, 881 slugging percentage.
I mean, the only issue and the bad thing that I have to say about Nolan Arenado and the way he's playing right now is when you're at the mountaintop, there is only one way to get off, and that's downhill. So if you don't stay there, there's hundreds of guys itching, scratching, climbing that mountain to try to kick him off. So
yeah, we'll see. Probably won't hit 405 all year.
That would be. It's gonna happen soon.
Maybe not him, but let's keep it rolling here.
Yeah.
Head up to the north side of the friendly confines. The Rays take 2 out of 3 against the Cubs at Wrigley.
Yes.
Man, I didn't really catch too much of that series. So you want to elaborate on this one a little?
Sure. Yeah. So I saw Wander Franco hit his first home run of the season. It was an absolute tank, an absolute piss missile. The kid's good. Tell me something I don't know. And then one thing I just had to ask you, I mean, is Seiya slowing down? Or did we just expect greatness? We just come to expect that extremely high level of play each and every game that he was putting out to start, but then it's kind of taking a step back. Is that because people have maybe figured out him and they read the scouting report, or is it just a hiccup in the giddy up and maybe he comes back this weekend and has an extremely good outing?
Yeah, I think it's the latter. I think he's completely fine.
I think he's fine too. I think it's just a hiccup in the giddy up, and I think we'll see.
Yeah, season. Still hitting. Looks like he's still hitting 343, 12 RBIs, 4 homers, through 13 games. So, it looks like he was 0 for 4 with 3 strikeouts against the Pirates today. So, but if you're ever going to get back on track, it'd be against a team like the Pirates. So, big weekend.
Yeah, we'll see. We'll see.
Yep. Let's keep it rolling. Big AL West matchup that just concluded. The Halos take 2 out of 3 against the Astros. But the most important thing, the Jordan Yabo tracker returns off the COVID list. Our guy, Jordan, 2 bombs in his first game back. 8-3 win. He's up to 3 homers on the year. We love Jordan. This is a Pro Jordan podcast. He's a beast. He might hit 1 million homers this year.
What was our number? 50?
Yeah, we're hoping he gets to 50.
50 is so obtainable.
Mm-hmm.
Have you found a bet for 50 home runs? Because I'd love to know what the odds are on hitting 50 plus home runs for Jordan is. Because if you could just hammer that bet, that's easy money. It's probably great odds, because how many people realistically hit 50 home runs a season? Not very many. No, this guy is almost a lock. Every swing, I could see it going out. The only guy who has a similar swing, who is less likely to hit it out, there's actually a couple guys who have this type of power. You have some guy named Mike Giancarlo Stanton.
Yeah, Moonshot Mike.
You have Joseph Gallo, who when he's not striking out can hit a ball 800,000 feet. And then you have the Franimal, Framil Reyes.
Yeah.
That's it. That is the extent of the power in this league that has equal to similar power to Jordan.
Yeah, for sure. I couldn't find those odds for you, but I do have the who will lead Major League Baseball in home runs in 2022. Jordan was plus 1,200. He's tied for the 4th highest. Goes Vladdy, Pete Alonso, Joey Gallo, Judge, and Jordan are tied.
Jordan all the way.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I think he's going to hit 50 tanks.
50. Bare minimum 50.
Yeah. Also in that series, Shohei shoves 6 innings pitched, 1 hit, no earned runs. I think he had a perfecto going through 5 or into the 5th. 12 strikeouts, insane.
Yeah.
I think he only threw it was like either 65 or like 85 pitches. It was crazy too. So he's just going to keep ramping it up, and he's going to be
a difference maker
for sure. What else you got there, Noah? Anything else in that series?
I think that it'd be crazy. I just imagine a world where the Angels figure it out and they are a menace to society. But then I wake up and I realize that it's early in the season, and the Astros are they haven't yet to get on their roll. They're starting a little slow. I think the Angels' roll that they're on right now is going to be halted, and it's going to be halted by a very unfortunate injury, but it's just the Angels' way.
Yeah.
And I hate to say it, but I'd love to see the Angels keep going and be the Angels of like the Salmon and the Grouse, and the Vladdy days, and the Weaver. Right. Oh my gosh, who was in K-Rod, right? Those times, those Angels were so much fun. But this team is, you can argue, is better, but the talent around the league is just so much better. So I think it'll take more for the Angels to keep this up. And I think the Astros are they're almost there. They're almost there. Yeah. They just need to get Yordan going, get some cohesiveness, get everybody else going, get a good consistent lineup in, and then they'll be on their way.
Yep. I'm with you there. Yeah, they'll be all right. Astros will be fine. Let's keep it rolling though. Jays take 2 out of 3 from the Red Sox in kind of like an underwhelming series. I was looking forward to that one. I thought there was going to be like a lot of big highlights, sweet stuff going on in that series, and kind of just flopped.
Yeah, and I was looking for some news over the week, and maybe I got a forced clip from one of the games, but I just underwhelming. Not anything that was not anything to write home about.
I don't even think there are any like sweet home runs or anything. Matt Chapman went 3 for 4 in one game. That's really about it.
Yeah, I mean, I'm ready to move on.
Yeah, I got nothing there. All right. Out to the media stroke fest out in the Big Apple.
I don't know if you saw any of those posts that they were making on Instagram or on Twitter, but they were highlighting the pitcher's ERA, and it didn't, like, some of the guys were good, but some of the guys had like a 5 ERA, a 4.38, and it's like, why are you showcasing those guys? Like, just to showcase them? Like, why not showcase more players who are like you can compare, like maybe some Giants hitters versus Mets hitters? It felt forced. I didn't like it, but then again, we knew it was coming.
Yep, we did. My big takeaway from that series is that Mets Twitter is annoying. I follow a couple Mets accounts, and they were just going off like the whole series. Like, it's just the worst. They're either completely complaining, like, oh my God, the Mets, like, we're never going to be good. Oh my gosh. And then it's like the next day they're like, we're the best team ever, print the banners, schedule the parade. Like, it's just, it's horrible.
Can I ask you a question?
Yeah.
Who's worse, Mets Twitter or John Heyman?
Ooh, that's a tough one. I'll go Mets Twitter.
Oh my gosh.
Is that the wrong answer?
I don't know. I don't. It's your opinion. I'm just, if you think Mets Twitter is worse than John Heyman, then Mets Twitter has to be I can't even imagine. Mets Twitter should go to Russia.
It's like the apocalypse. Mets.
Absolutely.
Max Scherzer shoved though in that series, 7 innings pitched in his start. gave up 1 hit, 1 earned run, struck out 10 hitters. He moves to 3-0 on the year. So
Shove.
yeah, he's great. Polar Bear Pete, he's raking this year. 14 RBIs, 3 homers. I don't see his average here, so he must not be that great. I think he was like 278 or something. But
I mean, he's hitting well. I know he has a grand slam. But all I have to say about the Mets is Jacob who?
yeah,
The Mets are in a great spot. I doubted them to start. I truly did. And you know what? They look like they're a powerhouse and they're just about ready to get on their roll.
yeah,
I think it's going to take a lot to slow them down. And if they can stay hot and then get Jacob deGrom back, they're going to take a little bit of weight off of Scherzer. The whole team is just going to flow. They're going to have their guy back, their catalyst, and it's going to be dangerous.
yeah, we'll see. At the end of the day, though, they are still the Mets. So
Yeah, they're still the Mets. But I mean, I'm going to eat my words now because I'm starting to get a sense that these Mets are a little different.
you're going to take it back and you're starting to swing back the other way.
I'm starting to yeah. These Mets feel a little different. I can't just be me who's feeling this.
Yeah, we'll see. I mean, they beat up on like the Nationals, the D-backs. So
Okay, the Nationals are a great team. The D-backs are, look, they're in the NL West. Clearly a good team. So
let's not get out of ourselves there.
yeah, it's like they're good by proxy.
Yeah, right. That's fair. We'll give it to you. All right, let's head over to, I think this one was in KC this weekend.
I do have one more note.
Oh, yeah, go ahead.
Logan Webb got roughed up.
Yeah, I think, what do you give up? 3 earned runs and 3.2 innings or something like that?
Roughed up big time.
Roughed up for him.
That was his first loss in like 20 some odd starts.
He'll be all right. He's always going to throw like a 1.5 ERA at home. So
yeah, let's hope it keeps going. Hopefully the humidor didn't change that.
Yeah. All right. This Royals series real quick. Royals go 2-1 against the Twins. Sal Perez, 2 bombs in game 1 of that series. And then
old guys rule.
Yep. I love that theme of this podcast. And then we got Joe Ryan. Have you met him yet? Starting pitcher for the Twins, spins another gem. 6 innings pitched, 2 hits, no earned runs, and 85 pitches in game 3. I think was his 3rd start of the year. He's on fire.
So I'll be honest. I heard of Joe Ryan. The first time I heard of Joe Ryan was last year, but I heard of him at like the end of the year in fantasy season when you're just looking for an extra start. Is he the real deal? Am I just missing out on this raw special talent in Minnesota because he's in Minnesota or because he was in Tampa Bay? I mean, like, what's the deal with him?
I think that could be the case. He came back in that Nelson Cruz trade with the Rays, and I mean, he's just off to a great start. 16 innings pitched and just 3 earned runs given up.
That's insane.
So he's going to keep ramping it up as well. He hasn't really gone more than 85 pitches yet this season. So
we'll see.
He might be that guy.
Might be that guy. I stay tuned, Twins fans.
Yep, absolutely. I think Buxton came back this series as well. I think I saw him in the lineup or something at some point in the game. Well,
let's just get him healthy. Make sure he has some stability, and then watch out for those numbers. Once he has the stability, I'll take a look.
All right, sounds good. Let's go to your series, the Noah Bowl.
Oof.
The D-backs versus the Nationals. It was 2-2. They split the 4-game set.
Yes.
The Diamondbacks gave Matt Davidson a contract. If anyone even knows who that guy is, he's just a former White Sox player, so I keep up with him. He hit a home run in his first bat in game 4.
We love that. Love those type of stories.
Yeah, we do. We like that. D-backs go off for 11 runs in game 3.
Yeah.
But in typical D-backs fashion, they were held to just one run over 18 innings in the doubleheader in games 1 and 2.
Yeah. Those games were easily the weirdest games of the week. Like each game one-sided, and I wasn't going to be surprised if either team decided to establish a mercy rule for this week and this week only.
Yeah.
I mean, but anywho, D-backs, you might actually have someone in Seth Beer. I mean, maybe it was just the Nationals, but I'm willing to keep watching Diamondbacks games if Seth Beer is on the field. I mean, that might be a reason alone to just watch. The guy might actually be electric. He is someone who, I mean, I kind of was paying attention to him when he was in the Astros farm system. And then when he made his way over to Arizona, I was like, I wonder what Arizona sees in him. And I kind of thought a little negatively. I was like, it's Arizona's farm system. I haven't really seen anybody great come out of there in a little bit. Ketel's been good, but Ketel was from Seattle. So
yeah,
it's like their Arizona farm system hasn't been great. They retooled and they were like, okay, this guy's going to come up as Arizona farm. And he's come up and he's making a mark. He's good. He's going to be a guy. And then you have Juan Soto, who combos with Josh Bell, who's going to get a bunch. The two of them are going to score a bunch for the Nationals. And, just those two teams are just kind of like oddball matchups where you kind of have to pick and choose.
Right.
One guy here and there who might show up who might not. And pitching's not great in any aspect. So it's just like, it is like mediocre baseball.
Yeah. Well said. Well said, sir. My only thing on Seth Beer is it seemed like at the beginning of the year, they were just kind of like platooning him. But it looks like he played in all 4 games this past weekend. So, earlier in the week. So that's good.
That's because they didn't know he was going to be this type of guy. They saw him in game and like, okay, fine, we'll play you. You're doing the job. We're going to keep playing you. If you're going to keep doing the job, we're going to keep putting you in there.
Yeah.
Easy as
like
that.
He hit that walk-off bomb against the Padres on opening day, and then they just put him on the bench like the next day. And it was like, what are you guys doing? Would you put Seth Beer back in, please?
Yeah, I think they were just teasing everybody.
Yep. But he is one of the only bright spots for our Snakes, our beloved Snakes.
Yes.
The Rockies, they went 2 out of 3 against the Phillies in Denver.
Yes.
My favorite thing, vintage. I don't even know how you say this guy's name. Familia.
Jairus Familia, I believe.
Yes, just vintage Familia. Gives up a 3-run tank and the lead to CJ Cron in the 7th inning.
Love it.
Game 2. Then he gave up 2 RBI doubles in the 7th in game 3. But the Phillies held on to win that one.
Don't love that.
CJ Cron swinging it well, 6 bombs, has the sole possession of the lead for most home runs this year. 16 RBIs, is second in the league, and he's slashing a cool 333, 365, and slugging 813.
Wow.
So he's off to a hot start.
Wow. Yeah, I mean, the Rockies, second place in the West.
Yes, sir.
Connor Joe, as we say, we're going to try to say his name every single podcast because that guy is good. 8-game hitting streak, comfortable 8-game hitting streak he's currently on. Granted, he didn't play on the 21st, I believe. Either the 20th or the 21st, he didn't play. But he's still on a hitting streak. He's good. I'd pay attention now. If you're a fantasy guy and he's on anybody's waiver wire still, pick him up. He's going to be absolutely a stud this year. And then it's awesome to see the Rockies in second place because it's going to make a lot of people down in San Diego real mad to see a team who added one guy basically.
Yeah.
who everybody says is basically a minor league team. Everybody yells at the ownership and the general manager for not trying and not actually getting any talent out there. But look at them. Second place in the best division in baseball. I don't know. Kind of spicy.
Yeah, they were looking good, man. And like, who knew what we were going to get out of CJ Crone, obviously, this far.
Yeah.
Charlie Blackmon looking decent out of the gate. So they were looking good. And then final series, Rangers. I think they just wrapped up. Rangers.
Yes, the Rangers took it.
So they won
8-6.
Okay, they won tonight. Mariners took 2 out of 3 there, I believe.
Yes.
I don't know. I don't have too much to talk about from that series.
Yeah, I mean, Robbie Ray isn't looking great, but he's looking good enough to get the wins. The Mariners, young guys, are doing just enough to get some wins, but they're not doing enough to get all the wins. I think a lot of people were looking for the Mariners to come off to a hotter start. And I think, truthfully, the fact that they're kind of sitting middle of the barrel right now is really good for them. If they came in with too much hype, they were going to bottom out middle of the season and then tank end of season. The fact that they're just middle of the pack and staying in it means that they're going to be able to get hot and then stay hot. Does that make sense? Are you following?
Oh yeah, they're kind of just going to keep pace with everyone and then just turn it on at some point.
I think that that's probably what's going to happen. But the only thing that's going to allow that to happen is if the Mariners pitching can stay good. If they get hurt during the season, I think it could be bad news M's.
Yeah, that wouldn't be great. I'll tell you who I like is this guy JP Crawford. Just signed a 5-year, $51 million contract before the season.
Yeah,
he's going to be a stud. I think we're going to look back and that contract's going to be like, man, this guy, that was a cheap deal.
I mean, he's been around for a minute, so
I think he's like 27 or so. But yeah, he's been around for a few years.
Yeah, but that sounds like most of the games.
Yeah. All right, let's keep it rolling here into our new segment, Mount Manfred. We're going to play a little rock, paper, scissors here, and then we're going to snake draft style it. So are you a rock, paper, scissors shoot guy or?
Yeah, I go on shoot.
Wow. We'll do it that way. Yeah. 1 out of 1.
Yeah. 1 out of 1.
All right. Rock, paper, scissors, shoot.
Okay.
All right. I went paper.
I went scissors, so I win.
Okay.
So let me do a little bit of explanation.
Mm-hmm.
What is Mount Manfred? Okay. So I'll explain it and then I'll explain the rules and I'll go over everything. So Mount Manfred is very similar to a Mount Rushmore or just a list of top fives. What we're going to be doing is, since we're a baseball podcast and we obviously love Manfred, we have labeled our Mount Rushmore top 5 Mount Manfred. Every time we do this segment, it will be a little different. We may be doing the best of the best or the worst of the worst, because as you all know, Manfred is Manfred. So we love Manfred for all of his quirks and everything that is he.
His many quirks.
Yes. So what we're going to do is we're going to do a snake draft. Since I won, I'm going to go first. Then Trent is going to go second. Trent is going to pick then first in the second round, followed by me. And then I'm going to pick first in the third. And then Trent's going to pick first in the fourth. And then we also, to round it out, I know Mount Rushmore only has 5 or 4 heads, but top 5 list, we wanted to keep it consistent. We've rounded it out with a 5th pick as kind of like a not a screw you to Manfred, but like here's just an extra little like I'm just kind of gonna give it to you. So we've called it the CC Sabathia pick. And the reason we've called it the CC Sabathia pick is because CC has kindly been named to a special assistant role with MLB and under Rob Manfred, or to Rob Manfred. This role was created specifically for CC. So because of this, it's basically like Rob Manfred's bitch pick. I was just trying to put it lightly, but that's really what it is. So this week on our Mount Manfred, we are doing difference makers. So we've labeled difference makers as the player who is most likely to make a difference and who you'd want on your team and who's most likely to make a difference, helping you to get the win, one way or another. So I'm going to go first.
Yep.
1-1, I have to go with the guy down in Anaheim, Shohei Ohtani.
That's a great pick.
I think he can do it from the mound, and he hit, what did you say? It was 2 home runs?
Yeah, I think. He hit 3 home runs in like an 11 at bat span last weekend.
Exactly. He's a stud. He's gonna do it all, and he's so young. So just taking the league by storm. 1-1, easiest pick I've ever made.
Yeah, that's a good pick. It's tough to argue that one. I'll go with number 2. I got Vlad Guerrero Jr. He was my top pick for a difference maker. Basically, he is the oil that keeps the machine running. You know, you got some guys who are going to set the table at the top. George Springer, maybe Bichette, Lourdes, Teoscar, Hernandez. These guys, they'll get on base, but who's going to drive them in? And that question would be answered with Vladdy Jr. Without him driving in runs, it's kind of like, you know, you're just getting guys on. So,
like, who do you got for your second pick?
Yeah. Oh, yeah. We'll keep it rolling here. Let's see. I'm going to go with Nolan Arenado. Yes. Nolan Arenado. We already talked about him. Already pretty much leading the NL MVP race. Let's see. Let me pull up those stats here. Hitting 405. I'll touch back on these again. Hitting 405 out of the gate, slugging 881. Has the 3rd most RBIs at 14 in the league. Very similar to kind of Vladdy. Like, he's the guy that's driving in runs, right? If he's not on, the Cardinals aren't scoring more than 2-3 runs a game. He can single-handedly take over a game as well. He is a difference maker.
Yeah, I agree. I like him, and especially since he's kind of figured it out outside of Colorado, I really like it.
All right.
My second pick is going to be a little bit of a curveball. Actually, no. I'm going to save my curveball for my 3rd round because I get 2 back-to-back. It's okay.
Okay.
I'm going to go with, for sure, Freddie Freeman. After seeing him this on Wednesday, I realized why the Braves were so sad, why all the Braves players made comments about it being different in the locker room, because they realized that they have just lost their best player. Ronald Acuna, who? Freddie Freeman is the guy. He's not just the guy. He is the GOAT on the Dodgers. He is on a team full of MVPs. Freddie Freeman stands out as the best hitter on that team. He is a defensive stud at first base. He is not, it feels like the catcher's the first line of defense, but on the Dodgers team, the first baseman, Freddie Freeman, is absolutely the first line of defense. So after saying all of that, seeing all of Freddie, I can say firmly that he is my difference maker. He's going to be on my team.
Okay.
And then 3rd round pick is going to be the curveball. I have Josh Hader.
Whoa.
And the reason I have Hader is because it feels like every single time he is up, every single time he pitches, the Braves are going to win.
Brewers.
The Brewers. I was just talking Braves. The Brewers are going to win.
Mm-hmm.
You give Hader 1 run, he's good. You give Hader 2 runs, he's perfect. You give Hader 3 runs, there's not a single time the Brewers will lose.
Yep.
It's called a closer for a reason. He goes in there and he closes the game up. And relievers can go 1, 2, 3, 5 times a week. They don't have the same limit as a starting pitcher. And if they're going to go, a starting pitcher goes 5 innings, maybe if they pitch once a week, they might go 5 innings, right?
Yeah.
A reliever can go 5 innings too. It's just going to be spread out. And that's 5 games. And if you can go 5 games as a pitcher, that is a difference maker.
Yeah, that's a great pick. He's a constant. In a world of variables, he's a constant.
Absolutely.
You need to have on the back end in your bullpen.
Absolutely.
All right, I am up here. Let's go with, I think I'm going to maybe a little bit of a curveball. I don't know. It's your guy. I'm going to take Josh Bell.
Wow.
Yeah, and I don't know how that will resonate with people, but here would be my argument is we know what Juan Soto is going to do, right? Juan Soto is going to put up MVP numbers every single year for the next 15 years. But he's only one man. And if the Nationals are going to win games this year, it's also going to have to be because Josh Bell is contributing. He's a switch hitter. He is batting .333 this year to start, 2 homers, 11 RBIs, and 10 runs. So kind of once again, similar to Vlad, he's going to be a guy who's driving in runs. Soto might be hitting doubles, but Josh Bell is going to be driving them in.
I mean, knowing Josh Bell and just knowing kind of how underrated he really is,
mm-hmm.
I think that is actually a great pick. He was the difference maker on the Pirates.
Right. Yeah.
And now that he's in DC, I think he could very well be that difference maker.
Yeah.
Wow. Great pick.
Yeah. Exactly. And obviously we got some of these like cornerstone guys at the top there. But I like to think of these kind of like outside of the box guys who really make the machine flow,
Yeah. You have 4th pick, and then we got our CC Sabathia pick.
Yeah. 4th pick.
Flyer.
Oh, man, I have a list here, and I am going to go with, I'll take Whit Merrifield. He's a table setter.
Wow.
Yeah. Table setter at the top of the lineup. This guy, without him playing well, the Royals aren't going to win games. So he's a guy going to have at least usually 200 hits a year, I feel like. He's going to swipe bases. He'll get a single. He'll move himself around the bases just by swiping bags, tagging up, flying balls, and then he's just a versatile player as well. Plays pretty much everywhere on the field.
Yeah, that's a good pick. I think for my 4th pick.
Yes.
I was struggling. I thought you were for sure going to go Juan Soto, but you made a very valid point over Josh Bell. And I don't think that having 2 guys on the same team is necessarily, it won't validate our list because there can't be 2 difference makers on a team, right?
Right.
So what I will do is I will make an adjustment.
Let's see how versatile you are.
Jacob deGrom.
Okay. Interesting.
Jacob deGrom is so much of a difference maker that he got Max Scherzer to leave his home that he's established in DC, that he chose, that was the first home that he actually chose to go to. Max Scherzer left that because Max Scherzer wanted to be with great pitchers, with people who could pitch like him. And if you're able to get someone like that to come, and then I'm calling this the deGrom willing. will your team to current first place in the NL East without even having thrown a pitch, I think he's a difference maker. Without the BS, every single person, every single player in the league, without hesitation, will tell, if you ask them who the best pitcher in the league is, without hesitation, they will tell you Jacob deGrom.
Yeah.
He is the most consistent pitcher. He has the dirtiest stuff, and his arm slot is the same exact thing for each and every pitch, and you have no idea what you're swinging at. It is so filthy.
He's reliable.
So dirty. It's Jacob deGrom.
Mm-hmm.
So that is my fourth Mount Manfred pick, and to round out the picks with my CC Sabathia pick, I'm going to take. I think we should use this pick consistently as like a flyer, as like a guy who. I mean, Josh Bell is a flyer, but he's a household name. We should use the CC Sabathia pick for picks and for things that people probably would not even have any idea who this person is. But we should put them on their radar.
Okay.
Are you down?
Yeah.
All right.
Let's do it. Let me see who you're going with here.
I mean, granted, he's probably a household name, but I think that when this guy is playing well, this team is tremendous. And that is Brandon Belt.
Ooh, okay. I like that one.
Brandon Belt with the Giants. I know him as a guy who is a power hitter, and as a Dodgers fan, he just seemed to consistently put the Giants and ahead of the Dodgers, or put the Dodgers into trouble.
Mm-hmm.
You would think that Brandon Crawford is the guy on that team, but when you really look at it, Brandon Belt is what really gets the party going. He's the power there.
Yeah.
And he's the first baseman. The same mentality that I had with Freddie Freeman. You have Joey Bart, who's a rookie behind the plate, so he can't be the leader of that team. So who do you have to lead that team? The two veterans. You have Brandon Belt and Brandon Crawford.
Mm-hmm.
So I think you look at Brandon Belt and Brandon Crawford and you compare the two, and I think that you have Belt over Crawford. And I really like what Belt. I know Belt probably doesn't have the greatest numbers consistently, but when he is playing well, that team plays well.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, he is. He's a difference maker for sure. Yeah, tough to say it any other way. Like you said, if he's on, then the team's going to win games.
Yes, absolutely.
And I will go ahead and round this out with my flyer guy, my CC Sabathia of the Mount Manfred draft, the first inaugural one. I'm going to go with Cedric Mullins. Yeah. You like that one?
I love that one.
There we go. Okay. So here's why. He is basically the top of the lineup for the Orioles. This guy, he batted .291 last year, slugged .518, was on base at a .360 clip. He hit 30 home runs. He swiped 30 bags. He's a speedster. He's the man. Like, if the Orioles are ever going to win games, like the Orioles, what did they win, 50 games last year or something maybe?
You could say any number and I would have believed you, as long as it's under 70.
Yeah. All right. But I mean, I'm willing to say that he was contributing in a lot of those games. He was the reason that they won a good amount of those games.
Absolutely.
Yeah, that's all I got on Cedric Mullins. So,
but the only thing I will say about that pick, to be a real difference maker, don't you have to help your team win games? I mean, okay, fine. You made the caveat. The few games they did win were because of him, pretty much. So I'll give it to you.
That's kind of how I was looking. Like, if you take him out of that lineup, they're probably only winning like
20,
30, 35 games.
Exactly.
So
Wow, that was a successful draft. So what do we have? I have Shohei, Freddie Freeman, Josh Hader, DeGrom, Brandon Belt. And who do you have? You have
I have Vladdy Wagon, Nolan Arenado, Josh Bell, Whit Merrifield, and then Cedric Mullins.
wow. So what we're gonna do is we are going to make that list. We're gonna put it on social media and have you guys, the listeners, vote, and hopefully I can win my first bet of the year. But if I don't, it's okay. But I know that my team is better. Regardless, let's vote and we'll see.
Yeah, we'll see. Vote for me. Vote for Trent Bets. All right. That was fun. That was successful. Let's keep it rolling here.
Yes.
We'll speed through these upcoming upcoming series this weekend. Then we'll finish up with some best bets.
Do it.
Pittsburgh and Chicago, 4-game set at Wrigley. Pirates win game 1 thanks to a Vogelbach 2-run homer.
Nice.
St. Louis traveling to Cincy for 3 games. Reds will probably never win again.
Right.
Losers of 9 straight. The Guardians take their hot bats and great pitching into New York for a 3-game series.
Oh, yeah.
Giants taking on your beloved Curly W's in the nation's capital.
Mm-hmm.
The Brew Crew traveling up to Philly. That'll be a fun series, 3 games.
Yep.
Colorado heading to Detroit.
Wow.
Will be interesting. We'll see if the Rockies can keep their hot bats away from home.
Yep.
Big AL East showdown between Boston and Tampa Bay for 3 games at Tropicana. Yep. Beautiful Tropicana field. And then we got the Fish taking on the Braves in Atlanta for 3 games.
Yep.
My Chicago White Sox are heading up to Minnesota, and Lucas Giolito returns. I think he's starting on Saturday, so that'll be huge to get him back.
That'd be cool.
Fired up for that. We got the Jays taking on the Astros for 3 games in Houston.
That's gonna be a good series.
That will be a great series. I think
2-1 series, Toronto, but I think Houston figures it out and we get more Yabos from
I think we're in for at least 2 more this weekend.
Absolutely.
The O's taking on the Angels in LA. Texas Rangers taking on the Oakland A's. Let's go A's. Keep winning. And we got the Royals taking on the Mariners in Seattle. Dodgers, big 3-game set in San Diego. 3 games there. And then finally, I'll be making my season debut at the Yard when the Mets take on the D-backs for 3 games on Saturday. 3 games this weekend. I'll be there on Saturday.
That should be fun.
Yeah. Yep. I'm fired up to get out to the Yard. Should be a good time.
Should I give you my bets? Should I just start off by giving you the winners and then you can give me your FE bets?
Yeah, go ahead. I'll let you talk for a little bit.
So I'm just going to talk to you, the listeners. We're forgetting about Trent for a second. I want you to know I live my day 1 day at a time, or I live my life 1 day at a time. Okay. So technically every day I enter 0 and 0, 0 and 0. So Friday is no different. So I just push out the negative energy and in with the good vibes all the time. All right. Because I'm manifesting it. I'm not just manifesting it. I'm guaranteeing wins. Easy, simple as that. So let's break it down to you. We have to start off Colorado versus Detroit. I have the Colorado money line plus 110. I love Colorado. They just keep hitting. Detroit, they're bigger, better, badder, faster, stronger Detroit than you've seen before. But, it's Detroit. It's not as great for their Yabos. But Colorado's just hitting. And I love it. And I'm going to bet Colorado until they tell me not to. Then I have a spicy bet at Baltimore plus 155 versus the Angels. And you might be thinking, Noah, stop. You want to win these. What are you doing? And I'll tell you, this is the winning bet. And I love the plus sign because they would win like 10 out of 10 times in this game. And even though they have the plus sign, it makes it just like that much better for me. So I'll tell you, Bruce Zimmerman, the guy, he has 0.00 ERA through his first 9. And he's the Birds' knight in shining armor. Baltimore's hitting has been okay too. And I just really like Baltimore in this game. Angels pitching isn't that great in this game, and I think it's the move. Then you have to sprinkle in an easy win for sure. Dodgers minus 170 versus San Diego. There's no way the Dodgers are going to lose 2 times in 3 games. Just impossible. Urias is going. It's simple as that. We just win over here. Win. Then I have the Chicago Cubs. I know they just lost against the Pittsburgh Pirates, but they're not going to lose twice against the Pirates. That's for sure. So I have Chicago minus 159. Drew Smiley is going for the Pirates. He's gotten 0 ERA through this first 9 2/3. Easy bet. That's almost easier than the Dodgers bet. And then to round out my parlay, my beautiful parlay, I have an under. I have a Mets Arizona under of 8.5 for minus 120. Both starting pitchers, ERA, Peterson and Gallen, have real low ERAs. Peterson's 0. Gallen's at 0.52, I believe, or something like that.
I think he's at 0 too.
It's so low. It's basically 0. If I could bet this game all 3 ways, I probably could, but I'm gonna go on the one that I'm for sure gonna win, and that's the under. But if you want to know the outcomes, it's Mets 5-1.
There we go.
So what that is the under 8.5. Then you have Mets minus 1.5, and then you have Mets money line.
Are you locking all 3 of those in?
I can't. I'm not going to.
Okay. Gotcha.
I'm not locking all 3 of those in. But for people who want to bet that game, feel comfortable betting any of those 3 options.
I like that.
So just to give you a rundown, all 5 of those bets, the Colorado money line, Baltimore money line, Dodgers money line, Chicago money line, the Mets Arizona under, gives you plus 2,442 odds, which is a 24-1 odds. So $100 better makes about $2,400. Cash the check now. Done. What do you have? What are your bets?
There we go.
There's no shot they're better than
mine. Well, they are certainly on pace with yours because I am also back in the Cubs here. But first, before I get there, I went 0-1 last week. The game of the millennium got rained out, which was unfortunate. It was that under in the Diamondbacks and Nationals game. Mm-hmm. And then, dude, how did the Red Sox lose on Patriots Day? That's a shame.
You really screwed me over. You screwed over my parlay. It was screwed over from the get-go.
Come on, don't blame that on me. So I am back in the negative now in the season. If you bet $100 on every game, I'd be down $76.69. So not bad. We'll bounce back this weekend. We'll start with the Cubs here. Just to elaborate on what Noah said, Cubs money line minus 159 is the move. It's Jose Quintana versus Drew Smiley. Same matchup is back on 4/12 of this year when the Cubs won 2-1. Both guys threw well, going 5+ innings. Q let up 1 run while Smiley did not. Smiley's ERA 0.00 over 9 2/3 innings, and he's allowed just 7 hits. That equates to a WHIP of 0.83. Cubs offense. Here is the statistic that you're going to want to. You can tell this to people at parties tonight, and then they'll think you're smart. The Cubs offense is 6th in OPS against left-handed pitching at 804. Their batting average is 8th at 259. They have the 6 home runs against left-handed pitching. That's 2nd.
I just see it's a verbal meme of the guy at the party whispering to a girl and the girl making the face like, what are you talking about?
That's accurate. But that's all I got. Last thing there, Cubs versus Quintana, slashing 257, 402, and 458. So I like that Cubs money line a lot there, minus 159.
Yeah, we hammer it. We both like it. If we both like it, it means something good's going to happen there.
Yes, sir. And then finally here, White Sox are going to get back in the win column. They are minus 105 on the money line. We got Kopech going. Michael Kopech versus Bailey Ober. Kopech limits the Twins to 2 for 14 in head-to-head stats. He also has a 1.00 ERA on the year with a 0.78 WHIP. Guy's an absolute savage. He's going to have another great start tomorrow or today when you're listening. Bailey Ober, the White Sox are 13 for 58 against him. Abreu's 4 for 10 with a home run. Eloy's 2 for 3. Now, if they can't get it done against Ober, Minnesota has the 28th ranked bullpen in ERA at 4.67. So
seems like a lock.
Yeah, I think it'll be a good game in the early going.
But you also thought that the Guardians would lose to the White Sox. So,
yeah, that's a tricky series. You know, it's a bad matchup for the White Sox with the Guardians. So, but the Twins, they should blow these guys out of the water, especially since the Twins have the worst bullpen of all time.
I'm just pulling your chain.
You got anything else, Noah?
I do not have anything else at the moment. I know the Dodgers San Diego series is going to be one to pay attention to. I'm definitely not going to be paying attention to the Oakland Rangers series. There's no reason for me to pay attention to that at all.
I'll keep track of their wins for you.
All I know is that the Guardians are probably going to take every game from New York. And then if Garrett Cole pitches, you can expect. Oh, here's how I'll round it out. Did you hear that? Who were the Yankees playing the other day?
The Tigers, right?
So the Tigers broadcast said that there was a tweet somewhere that said that Garrett Cole made a bet that said he would donate 600 MacBooks to a local school if he made it through 2 innings, and he only made it through 1 2/3. And the Tigers broadcast said that on the air, which is clearly false. No, he wouldn't make a bet saying if I last 2 innings, I'll donate 600 MacBooks. But Tigers broadcast believed it. They said it on air, and it was hilarious.
I think that was like one of those things from like one of the parody websites, like one of the Onion types, right?
Absolutely.
That's good stuff. Let's end it there. Thanks everyone for keeping it between the chalk with us.
Yes, thank you.
Give us that follow, that subscribe on all the socials at
Please.
PSBN Baseball. Find us there on Twitter, Instagram. Make sure you're voting that poll for Mount Manfred.
We're on Spotify. We'll be on Twitter. All that fun stuff. Please find us.
All right. Peace out, guys. We'll talk to you Sunday night.
Adios.